much. Sleep in the day?
A little nap.
Yeah.
Just broken this.
Yeah. So we got home at like 5:30 or something, and then I was like, Scotty's gonna wake up in an hour.
Yeah.
There's no point. I have to feed her when she wakes up. So I'm like, oh, I'll go sauna and have a shower and kind of just something all like after day one. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I kept thinking like, oh, this is gonna be awkward because I'm gonna like drop off and then I'm just gonna be that person that was like, look around here, I'm doing well, and then like I'll get caught out. I was like, oh, it must be because it was like the kind of workouts, yeah. And I didn't know. And then yeah, it got closer and closer, and we're like, okay, like let's just not say it out loud, like, because like it looks like you might qualify. I don't even get it. I don't even understand this qualification. I don't even understand what that means or where I'd go. And then we're going to that dinner that night, and I was like, what? It was like the biggest deal. It was like the biggest thing I had ever done. But the thing is too, like I've never even traveled anywhere, you know? Like I've just been in Brisbane my whole life, and then all of a sudden I like join this gym, do this thing, go to a competition, they're like, go to America. I'm like planning the trip, and it was so expensive and it was so far, and I was like, rock my world. Like just rock my world.
That deadlift box jump workout, the deadlift was like 91 or something, 92.
Yeah, 92.
And like you were like, oh, I couldn't even hardly stand it up. The next year you were just like, wow.
My friend in 2011 regionals was 70 kilos or like 70 something. Like, and then I remember, I'll never forget it, going into the warm-up area, and there's like, you know, all Amanda Allen and Amy Dracup and like all old school girls, and they're all warming up. We had this like little patch of there was like 2 barbells for everyone. It was just like uneven on one side, and they're like loading it up and taking turns jumping in. They're like, alright, I'll go in. And I've like gone to like, oh my god, let's try it. And I've like gone to pull it and like just couldn't move it. And I'm like, oh, slippery, I need some chalk. They would have got chalk and just like disappeared and faded. I was like, I can't lift this thing. And then I'm like, alright, I'm not trying again. I'll just see what happens when I get out there. And then I did like 6 okay ones, and then the rest were just like so hard. I was trying so hard to keep a flat back, and I was like,
I remember you were upset.
I was like, I was bawling my eyes out. I was so embarrassed. I was like, went back to the hotel, and then not only was my back so sore because I just did 21 deadlifts. I got cut after the 21 deadlifts and 21 box jump, but that was a minimum requirement to keep going. I was like bawling my eyes out. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. People saw me around my back. Oh. And then now here it's like, oh my god, I'm like almost 31. It's been like a decade. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I still hurting? Yeah, right. Just woke up, hey. Just still waking up. Just trying to get a bit of blood moving. Tell my body that I'm about to make it do some stuff. Yeah, just ready to do some workouts, get it done. Glad that the first one's not as like rah-rah as it could be. It's not like the second workout, so that's good. Just ease into some lifting and see how we go, and then get some sleep. It was better than I thought. It's just like you turn some lights on, have a bit of coffee, like kind of get going, and you kind of know what you're in for. Like I had enough time to, I couldn't prep the time for it because I have a child, so it was not worth, you know, prepping and losing heaps of night's sleep, so we're just kind of winging that. But I had enough time to mentally prep for the fact that I was going to be awake in the night and that it was going to feel pretty bad, and you know, I just kind of like, I don't know, you have the chat with yourself. So it was a little bit better than I thought. The day was hard, just being tired, feels like a bad hangover. And then you try and get whatever sleep you can before you back it up. But you just, yeah, in the night, obviously just not quite as sharp, just like little things. But look, it's no big deal. I made a choice to do this anyway, and it's been super fun to just compete. And it's been like super well run, and it's been smooth, like it's been fun, so that kind of overshadows anything else, and I don't have any major expectations of myself because it's in the night, so that's kind of nice too, because you just do what you can do, and then, you know, go, oh damn it, I made that mistake, or I made that mistake because, you know, it's 2 a.m. But it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I was pretty happy. The first one, I just couldn't do any more than that at that time of night, and that workout, I was just maxed out. I was like full like phlegmy cough afterwards. And then the second one I did make one error in the scoring, and I was like, oh no, I've kind of tapped out, and I was like, I'm not going to make the next one. I knew that, and so I kind of stopped for too long, and then realized that every rep would count on like a tiebreaker, and I was like, shit, I'm like, go. So I could have potentially made a bit more ground there. That's one of those tied errors. And then on the last one, it was good. It was like a really fun workout, which I knew it wasn't going to be like amazing for me, just like against some other girls and like that amount of toaster bar. And then obviously like heavy double unders, just taking time to get back after having a kid. And I just was a little too cautious on them. I just maybe could have pushed the pace, but in saying that, I still think I did them well. Like I felt like I kept good double unders, didn't feel like vulnerable pelvic floor or anything like that, which could definitely happen with 240 heavy double unders. So yeah, maybe I was exactly where I needed to be, I don't know. But I think maybe I could have gone a little bit more and finished a workout. But again, I didn't look at the time, and I was like, oh my God, if I had have known I was close to finishing, I would have finished it. But I didn't because I was tired. Yeah, I feel alright. I've had a bit of sleep, so just went to bed early and got a couple of hours in, so I can't complain. I'm not sure how I'll lift. Real tired. I don't know what that looks like. But like I feel okay. I think I'm just glad that it's kind of like a build up into the day. And I'm ready to I'm glad that it's 2 nights. I think it would have just been really unrealistic for me to do 3 nights. I don't think I would have been able to perform, whereas I'm able to do pretty well. You know, not my 100%, but I'm able to do pretty well in 2 nights and get it together for 2. But yeah, I definitely feel like a little bit better than I think I could have based off how I've felt getting up in the night, you know, with screaming babies.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, I haven't been like super strong on my clean and jerks yet, so I didn't expect like all numbers, but especially not in the middle of the night. But I did alright. I was hoping for one more barbell. I got the clean twice, but I was just a little bit cooked in the legs to move them fast enough to get under the jerk. I was a bit like, ugh. But that's okay. It was, when you max out, you max out. Oh, it's gonna be gross. It's like, yeah, I just gotta like slowly build up and try and get myself to like snap into it, because it'll be like 4:30 in the morning, and it's a gross workout. It's a gross workout. So I'm just hoping I cannot let my head get in the way and be like, oh no, it hurts or whatever. If I can just keep chipping away, then I'll be okay, because I start to feel it now by this time, like start to feel the night on the night. Hard, but a little bit better than I thought, time-wise. But yeah, it's just a bit gross. Picking up that D-ball. It's a bit gross. I hate deadlifts. I feel negative about them, and I always expect myself to not do very well because I just haven't liked them for a long time. So I'm trying to mentally prep myself to just be like, just go and get it over and done with, and who cares, it's allowed to hurt, and like just let myself hate them. But yeah, it's all like real close in the leaderboard and the points at the top, so it's like about to hurt, kind of over hurting because it's like wake up time. But yeah, I just gotta get my head ready for it, that's all. let's quickly talk about the end of the Rogue Invitational before we wrap this vlog up. So we obviously knew all of the workouts in advance and I knew how it was going to play out. The final event has deadlifts in it. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm pretty strong and should be good at deadlifts. I'm short. I hate deadlifts. I'm not great at deadlifts. I dread them. To get capacity in my posterior chain has been an absolute mission that I built for a really long time and then had a baby and then had to like rebuild it. So I'm super grateful that I've been actually doing a lot of like deadlift clusters. So think, let's say 3 rep, for example, 3, drop the bar, 3, drop the bar, 3. So like reigniting every time. I've been doing a lot of those and it helped a lot, but I just didn't know where my capacity was in that. So anyway, it's 6:20 a.m. On the second night shift of this competition. I'm starting to feel pretty tired and just worn out and not sleepy, but just like empty and really, really sore. There's been a lot of work through the legs. All of my training leading up to this point lately has been like 85% effort. I haven't actually like put the foot down at like 100%. Just sort of like rebuilding back. And because I wasn't sure if I was even going to do the Rogue Invitational when I found out that it was through the night. I was trying to weigh out the options. Is it silly? Is it irresponsible as a mother? All these kind of things that go through your head. But I really, really wanted to do it. So I decided to just go ahead and do it the best I could. But anyway, I wasn't sort of prepped for that 100%, but I had been doing all of those deadlifts and things like that. So anyway, I got my head together like I wanted to. Went out, I set some numbers for myself. I thought I'm going to hold on to the overhead squat and try and go as unbroken as possible. The goal was unbroken. And for the deadlift, just break it up like once for each set and just kind of be smooth, run my own race, but try not to hold onto the barbell too long. So I did that on the first one. I was like, oh, it kind of feels okay. And then on the second one, I was like, it still kind of feels okay compared to what it normally would for a 21:15.9. And I felt like I could have held on, but I was like, is this a trap? You know, I haven't had this yet. So anyway, I stuck to my plan and did my breaks, finished, and I was like, I could have gone unbroken. I actually felt fine. Not fine, but fine. I could have hurt more, which was super exciting. And obviously I placed well in that event, which was amazing. And then I got on the podium and oh my gosh, I think Maddie and I just looked at each other. We were just like, what? Like, how did this even happen? I had no crazy expectations. I sort of had this idea in my mind that maybe I'd like to come like in the top 7, so not as far as 10, maybe realistic in that I wouldn't fall in the 5, because obviously like this is the world's best girls in this event. This is the cream on the top, you know, in the way of the competition. And I haven't gone against those girls in a long time, and I tried to be super realistic with the fact that I was going to be doing night shift. Anyway, so stoked, so proud. Couldn't have done it obviously without my support. I had Lily as my judge, who was amazing, who kept me true to my movement, but was like super chill and awesome. The guys who were running the Rogue Invitational were so professional. Everything was like so clean and crisp that it made it as enjoyable as it could possibly be, even though it was through the night. They made it so just seamless and smooth. It was just so professional. It was an absolute pleasure to be a part of that competition, and I'm so glad that I did it, especially when I was like, I don't know what to do, and you know, to the point where I was even emailing them like, can we please put it a couple of hours earlier so that, you know, I still finish late but just not like my whole night and I can still get some sleep and still have a chance, because I thought I had no chance. And you know, I was doing everything I could, but they did an amazing job. So I'm super glad that I did it and that I did the best that I could each time. I made a few mistakes that you just make in the nighttime, you know, when you're just tired, and I'm just not really good. I make mistakes all the time, but we did amazing as a little team, Maddie and I, and Scotty was asleep and was none the wiser, and yeah, it was awesome. It was so good to be back, and it's been super nice. I've had so much positive feedback. People just, you know, sending me messages and things like that. Just so stoked, and so many congratulations, which is super sweet and super nice. It feels so nice, and it feels so nice to be back doing what I'm doing, especially because we've all been in isolation. So it's nice to just do what we do. And I think now more than ever, people really needed to come together, and this did that in some capacity. So for myself and for everyone, I think it was such a great opportunity, and I'm so grateful that this competition did go ahead and we were all able to come together for a moment in something really positive and super exciting in this sport that we love. But that's my wrap up. Third at the Rogue Invitational in 2020, in the night, first time on a live stream, first time on a night shift, first time against these girls after having a baby, seeing if I was still any good, and it was a huge hit. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I hope you love the competition, and hopefully you see me out on that big stage again real soon. If it's at the CrossFit Games of the Ranch or wherever it is when it is, I'll be back there soon. That's it. Bye.